Russia is big. Stupid big. You probably saw the title and thought, come on, how are you gonna play tall here? You know tall, the playstyle of gaining strength by building up from within by constructing buildings and stacking modifiers, instead of the usual conquer everything. On top of being a big country, it's also cold. Stupid cold. You might think playing tall in Russia is stupid, which it is, but I'm doing it anyways. Naturally, the place to start would be the current capital of Russia, Moscow. Let's see what it's like in the game. Oh my god, it's just the plains. Seriously? There's no special buildings, it's not even the duchy capital. That's as sad as it gets. Are you telling me I'm gonna have to turn this backwater town in the middle of nowhere to the richest city in the world? Yeah, that's kind of what you do in your videos, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, you heard it here first. We're gonna turn this tribal county with no development into a grand city with 100 development, getting rich in the process. And of course, we'll fulfill Ivan the Terrible's dream of being huge afterwards. With only 2 counties and the Khazars on our doorstep, this is going to be a tough challenge. But I like a challenge, and I'm sure some of you guys do too. So I've created a challenge for y'all. If this video hits 1,000 new subscribers, then I'll play tall in Siberia. Yeah, you know, Siberia, the place where literally nothing grows, and there's a -6 development per month debuff in the game. And no, it doesn't count if you unsubscribe then resubscribe, but you can if you want to. And also, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and it's not like we're in a rush or anything, but let's get back to the video. Not every journey has a straight path. And boy, would that be the motto of this section. The first goal will be to build strength to defeat our northern neighbor and form the Duchy of Timurovo. Our starting character is a mastermind philosopher, but I don't think we can debate our way to land, so I'm switching to the martial lifestyle with an authority focus for the control growth. We actually start with a decent military of 500 light footmen and 200 archers. One thing to note is that as a tribal, our troops cost prestige, not money. We're not actually of the Russian culture at the start, but instead we're Meshera. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, which is a good starting culture as it has both culture blending, which makes forming a hybrid culture easier, and religion blending, which makes it easier to convert religions. We're a nice little sandbox culture. I know some of you are thinking, hey, why aren't you starting in Kyiv? Isn't Kyiv OP? And yeah, exactly. There's a good special building slot and it's a farmlands. Now, that'd just be too easy and no fun. And while in the game is in the Russian Empire title, I don't think the Ukrainians would agree with that sentiment nowadays. Back to Moscow now, and let's actually make it our capital. We start with more troops than our northern neighbor, so let's take another county. From the looks of it, we have a couple house members nearby that we can call to the battle to make it even more unfair. I don't have a good general, so I can marry off a courtier to find someone who's better. And just like that, we have an actual general. A super easy war to bring us to 3 counties. Since our military is pretty big for how small of a nation we have, we're losing prestige every month. To counter this, I'll be raiding our neighbors. Everyone here is broke. This 7 gold and prestige really ain't gonna cut it. Wait, now we're getting raided. And we were captured. I was just about to mention how I'm not really worried about the actual raiding part and instead want to find armies to fight. Winning battles gives you way more prestige than you ever could from looting. Hopefully I can escape. We're free now, easy peasy. To actually become Russian, we need a Russian county. There's one just sitting here, ripe for the taking. Oh, someone just declared war against us. I'll call in my house members to help deal with that. Thanks for the golden prestige, I guess. What I'm really afraid of is the Khazars conquering us. I could submit to them with meager tribute, which would cost us a tiny bit of money in exchange for them being unable to declare war on us. I'll hold off on this for a bit, but just know I am considering it. Our truce ended with these guys, so let's get ourselves another county. My first dynasty legacy, what to get? The erudition branch gives development growth. Law makes buildings cheaper. I think for my first legacy, I'll pick up noble veins. There's not many geniuses around these parts, and this will help us get those traits into the family. I need to save up money to form the duchy title. There we go, let's take the Duchy of Apolly for ourselves. I really needed that so I could start giving land to vassals, as my domain slots were all full. We talked about our culture, but what about our faith? We're Ukanusko, a Finnish pagan faith. I'll likely convert to Orthodox when I can. I'll need 1200 more piety to do so. But I do have some learning perks, and the apostate perk reduces conversion costs by 75%. I can reset my perks to unlock it. Now I can convert for a mere 250 piety, and I have much more than that. With that, the first step of becoming feudal is completed. Oh yeah, we need to level up from tribal to feudal. Pretty much everything is limited as a tribal. The other things we need are a higher development, 70% of tribal innovations, and absolute tribal authority. Tribal authority is easy to upgrade. We'll just need some prestige for each level, and we need to wait 10 years. Reaching 70% of the innovations will definitely be the hardest task. We only have like 3 of 14 techs. I was raiding and we just lost our first battle. Well, that's a shame. Ooh, and now our poor son has consumption. Speaking of consumption, we want our people to consume more alcohol, so I'm building gathering halls to increase our monthly prestige. Once again, our truce is gone and we can take the last de jure county of our duchy title. It was easy, and now our duchy is complete. With all the land we currently have, I'll be getting markets and gathering halls to get ourselves some funds. Our biggest issue now is our culture. With only 3 techs, it'll take hundreds of years to get out of the tribal era. Our best bet would be to merge with a more enlightened culture, or create some kind of divergent culture. Even with techs though, how are we supposed to achieve our goal of reaching the max development in the middle of nowhere? There's a single buff to plains that can be unlocked by Indian cultures, and it's not even that good, so that kind of thing is not gonna work. Well, there's other ways to get development. Some buildings give development, so which building is the best? There's trade ports, and those are good. Cities have the guilds building, but there's one building that gives the most development: windmills. Maxed out windmills give a good amount of base development on top of a massive 34% increase to all the development gained. The issue is that windmills will require us to get the windmills innovation in the high medieval era, which doesn't start until at least 1050 at the earliest. To solve this problem, I'll be picking up the industrious tradition. The most important effect is that it'll unlock windmills in era early. One windmill is good, but just a 34% increase isn't actually that much. That's where cities come in. Using the tradition city keepers, we can build windmills in cities where normally they aren't allowed. For example, this 5 barony county, which would have 1 castle, 3 cities, and 1 temple, can now have 4 windmills instead of just 1. It's important to note that the percent increase to development applies to the entire county, not just the barony. Just to make things even better for us, I'll be getting parochialism, which increases income and development growth for each city a county has, stacking with all the other effects mentioned. That's for future generations to worry about, as I'll be dead in a year. And my heir who had consumption has now passed away too. I have 2 more young sons, but one of them has a lisp. Yeah, I imprisoned and killed my own son. What about it? Our new son is a curious little fellow, which is good since he's about to be left a bunch of land to deal with at only 3 years old. Good luck, lol. Since we have an entire duchy, the next logical step would be to take the kingdom of Vladimir. I may be a kid, but I am bloodthirsty. The Vikings? Seriously? Oh, this is a rough situation. I'm so cooked. No one wants to ally with us. There's not much I can do. Oh, you can't be serious. I have 2 big armies taking over all my land at the same time. And I ended up joining the Khazars, but that doesn't matter as they don't feel like helping me. My only chance is to get some mercenaries and win this next battle. And that chance is now over. I lost, and I've been kicked out of my land. I'm now a landless adventurer with nothing but a camp to my name. The adventurer playstyle is a lot different than the landed one, and if you've never tried it, I'd recommend it. It is quite fun. Except in this case, I don't want to be an adventurer. We're only good at learning, so I'll set our goal to become scholars. Hopefully this can make us some money. I will build up strength until I can take back the land that's rightfully mine. Eventually, once I'm cool enough, I'll reclaim the land with an invasion. As an adventurer, you travel around to complete contracts. They require different skills to complete, and some of them become a whole scheme where people in your party participate. We don't have land, but we have this camp where I can upgrade buildings to give us various boosts. I'm traveling south to Bulgaria in search of work. I want to build up as much prestige and gold as possible. And just because we're landless doesn't mean we don't have a military. We have troop slots available. They cost gold to get initially, but then take provisions to maintain, which is this little apple thing up here. The troops I have come from the people we've done contracts for. It's pretty cool since they end up giving us regional troops like these heavy infantry here, which are better than regular armored footmen. I'm being offered some land in exchange for helping these guys in a war, but this is not the land I want. I've moved my camp into Constantinople and there are lots of good contracts around here. I've been traveling, gaining strength for years, and I yearn for home, but I have an absolutely insane idea first. I'm converting to the Greek culture before I head back. My plan is to form a hybrid culture with our original culture, and this way we get all the innovations the Greeks have. We have some good money, what we're missing now is fame. And to get fame, we can do hunts. Our army limit is tiny, so we need a way to increase that. I constructed a new building that increases our regiment size by 1. I can also swap over to the swords for hire camp purpose, where scholars no longer. I'm traveling north and the only thing slowing me down is that I have to gather lots of provisions for our new military. Wait, that timing is actually perfect. The Greek culture just unlocked something that increases our military size. Now, isn't that convenient? But yeah, the provisions, it costs provisions to travel and to replenish our troops. Troops don't restock naturally like they do when you're landed, so you have to buy them. Our opponent here has a few allies that increase their strength by quite a bit, so a war like this is a little scary. It looks like they're already at war with a strong enemy, however. I'm gonna have to do this real soon. Next door we have Estonia being led by a conqueror. Oh damn, our enemy is in yet another war. The timing on this is too good to pass up, so after years of being away from home, it's time to take home back. The development in the region is so low that I can't even have 1,000 troops on a tile. I don't know where the opposing army is, but they're letting us take castles for free. Oh, there's the enemy army. They're kind of just ignoring us, maybe trying to fight one of the other armies invading them. We just won 2 battles with people I'm not even at war with, but it was good because we took over their siege and got the capital really fast. If we win this one battle, we should win the war, but I need supplies first. Never mind, they're just running away. I'll take this castle. And that was all that was needed to win the war and reclaim our rightful land. Estonia is looking huge, but unfortunately, they do not want to ally with us. We're probably screwed. Since we've been gone, the Khazars have lost their power as the Bolonids have taken their place in the steppe. Estonia has grown to be enormous and has a conqueror in charge, and I'm once again independent, but surrounded by more powerful foes. What have I gotten myself into? Now that we have our land back, the next step is to adopt feudal ways. We need to increase our tribal authority, which I can level up once every 10 years for some prestige. I also need to reach 10 development in our capital. Right now we have 3 development. Earlier I converted to the Greek culture, so I'd love to form a hybrid culture with the local people, which requires 40% acceptance. I'm doing some raiding to get money and prestige, and we just annihilated an army 3 times our size. Getting the cultural acceptance and development up is going to take many years, so in the meantime I can just expand a little bit more to form a kingdom title. I need this piece of land specifically so I can form a hybrid culture with the culture we want to form it with, as all my current land was converted while I was gone. The quickest way to get acceptance is to simply hold a grand tour of cultural festivals. Sometimes we get these pop-ups that give us a massive 10% acceptance. The tour itself just got us up to 19%, so just under halfway to the required 40. To expand further, I'll have to beat the Bolonids, who are huge, but I actually think I'm stronger than. Oh my god, am I seeing that right? Nearly 20,000 men are coming to kill me? The war is for our main duchy. How can I possibly win this war? The invader is this conqueror of the Baltic Empire from the north. The leader is an old man, so I can pray for his demise, or try to murder him. Yeah, okay. This game is cursed. The Vikings have decided they'd love to invade me at the same time too. This is literally what happened last time, but possibly worse. I'm not too sure where to start. The Baltics have way more men than I could possibly hope to defeat invading us, so maybe I'll try to win the other wars to mitigate the damage. The murder isn't working as no one wants to become an enemy of the conqueror, which, you know, that's fair, and I can't really blame them. I think my only way to win this would be if the enemy troops starve. If I lose this war, I won't have any land or money anyways, so I might as well buy as many mercenaries as possible, even to the point of going into debt. It's time to make our stand, and I've decided that I'll lead my own army to its death. It was only wishful thinking as my army was crushed. The Baltic Empire defeated me and once again took my homeland. Luckily for us, we actually still have some land. I managed to win the war I started a while ago, which is really good as it gives me some sort of power base to work off of. Conquerors are just too strong, man. But once he dies, I hope to see the empire fall apart. Man, I really hope he dies before our truce ends, or we're just screwed. My genius wife just gave birth to a genius son. He has a few older brothers, but I would love for this baby to become our primary heir one way or another. Huh. Okay then. Well, he's got more troops than last time, but there's a chance. He's near death. The conqueror is sick and dying, and with any luck his heir won't be nearly as powerful. Yeah, okay, Moskva is cursed. The Volga River is flooding as we're getting invaded. At least we're only being invaded by one enemy this time. That went pretty well actually. We killed 4,000 men really fast. I'm gonna lose this next battle, but that was a win overall for us. I need to attack their armies when they are separated. It's our only chance. Damn, for a second there, I thought we might actually win the battle. But no, they started winning, and now they've killed one of my sons. Still overall a win for us, as they have way less troops than before and ours replenish fast. If I attack here, I have 8 advantages and 0 disadvantages, which is nuts. I'm still not super confident though, so I'll buy some mercenaries. It looks like we didn't even need the mercenaries, but it was better to be safe than sorry. With that battle win, I actually think we'll have no trouble winning the war. Normally I'd go for the white piece, but they'll pay me 600 bucks if I completely win the war. After the last battle, we won the war, and now we're rich. Sort of. I mean, we spent more money on mercenaries in the last couple of wars than we got from the win, but at least we kept some land. You know what? Because we just beat them and their conqueror king is dead, let's take back our homeland. The Baltic Empire doesn't even have troops here. Instead, it's just other people also attacking the Baltics. As I suspected, the empire is collapsing now that the emperor is dead. Oh damn, we're dead too. Now we're an intelligent 14-year-old boy. Our brother, the genius, the one I wanted in charge, wasn't our heir, but intelligent isn't bad, so we take it. Yeah, look, the Baltic Empire really is just falling apart. It took a while to get enough war score, but we've won the war and we've officially taken back Moskva. We only hold one county directly, so I'll need to revoke our vassals' titles. To do so, I need to increase our tribal authority, which is something I wanted to do anyways to feudalize. I've been busy with the whole war thing, but now that there's some peace, we can create a hybrid culture. We have the cultural acceptance, we just need some more prestige. Oh, and unfortunately, our vassal would say no and rebel if we revoke the title. You know what? I hope he says no. Other vassals will join him, which will give us a reason to revoke their titles too. Winning the rebellion lets me take away all the land from anyone who joined their fellow vassal. So now we control most of our original land directly, which is great, and what I wanted. I won't see the effects of this until I get the control up though, but we should start to get a good amount of gold and prestige. I really need the prestige. I lose so much per month from our military. Let's form that hybrid culture. I'm going with the bureaucratic ethos for the 15% development growth. I'll return to the Volga Finnic heritage and language. None of the traditions matter all that much since I want to replace them all anyways, but it's important to note that I'm keeping culture blending for that purpose. Not all of my counties converted automatically, so I'll have to manually convert them, like our capital here, and it'll take an insane 11 years. Once that converts, I'll start going for the 10 development needed to feudalize. In the meantime, I should consolidate power and claim the rest of the Vladimir kingdom, which will be the extent of our land for hundreds of years. Some of these neighbors are really weak, so it's pretty easy. Actually, most of them are weak. Having a military of these special armored footmen makes battle against the uneducated real easy. I'm now able to create the Kingdom of Vladimir. I'm just missing a couple counties that I'll get later. Or right now, that could be cool too. Once I take the land, I plan to secure the realm. So for my oath, I'll swear to secure the peace. If we keep the realm in peace for 5 years, we'll get a bonus to development. I think it'll just be one more county now. It's been long enough and I can now pass absolute tribal authority. All we need now to feudalize is to reach 10 development in our capital of Moskva. I'll start promoting development, which will slowly but surely get us to 10. I'll simply be waiting, so in the meantime, I'll build some stuff that will hopefully get converted to useful castle buildings when we become feudal. Oh, and I'm also holding 8 of these counties myself, which helps make us more gold than we would otherwise. With divided attention, I'll be able to hold another 2. And I'm finally changing Moskva to Moscow. I might as well hold literally all our land directly. I don't need any more perks in the stewardship lifestyle, so it's time to switch over to my favorite focus, the scholarship focus. It'll give us 15% more dev growth, which is all we need right now. At the beginning of the video, I mentioned that Moscow isn't even the duchy capital, but that's fine as I can change it for some prestige. Once I actually get enough prestige, of course. Like now I can change it, which moves the duchy building slot to this county. Here's the other thing that'll allow me to increase dev growth right now, planned cultivation. We're all the way up to 8 development, things are looking real good. Before we hit 10 development, let's take our last county in the kingdom. And there we go, our kingdom is completed. I needed to take it now so when I feudalize, all of our counties get upgraded. My player heir is a genius, which means our eugenics worked. Make sure you always marry people smarter than you. Oh yeah, I swore peace. I might have forgotten about that when I declared war a little bit ago. But it's good I did so, as our next guy is compassionate. What a nerd. Just hit 9 development. We're getting real close. Once we hit 10 development, the next step will be to create the ultimate culture. I'll need to merge with Swabian for parochialism and industrious. The Vikings hate to see a people thrive, and as such they are invading right before I reach the development I need. Except this time, I'm not worried. My 1700 men just defeated their army of over 8,000, as simple as that. After waiting just a little bit longer, we've reached 10 development. Oh, it's beautiful. More beautiful than a 10 out of 10, as we can now adopt feudal ways. All my tribal holdings will automatically become castles, which makes no sense, but we love to see it. And I'll actually be able to get new techs. Look, we have castles, temples, and cities. We didn't get many buildings automatically, unfortunately, so I need to start constructing the classics. like the farms and fields, which will give us half a gold per month. I'll be building a lot of them. In our forest terrain, I'll be getting forestry buildings instead. This is the start of Moscow, the glowing beacon of enlightenment of the world. I'll start researching manorialism, which will unlock duchy buildings and early economic buildings. Since we just got these castles, I have many buildings to buy and upgrade. Our troops also cost gold now, so I need to keep that in mind. Changing our court to an administrative type will help with the construction, decreasing the cost and time it takes to do so. I've never known bureaucracy to speed things up, but here we are. I successfully kept the peace for 5 years, and as a reward, all my counties get 2.5 development. You might be wondering what this obsession with development is for, and well, the truth is bigger number sounds cooler, but also, it increases research speed while also increasing the amount of gold a county makes with a percent modifier, and as you know,
I like money.
The buildings are coming quick and easy, bringing us up to almost 10 gold of profit per month, which will hit 10 very soon. The uneducated hate to see us thrive, and as such, they keep attempting to raid us. I, of course, will not allow that, so I crush armies that attempt to do so. Do you have stupid kids? Hire a tutor. Set them to educate children and see their stats increase by a lot. Disclaimer, results not guaranteed. Child may receive diplomacy points instead of something good like stewardship or marshal. Additional fees and taxes may apply. So I'm about to die, but I have this issue where I have more than one son. This guy here is kind of awesome as he's a genius and a sword master, but I don't want him to take land away from my main son, so I will throw him in prison. Now, I could cut his dick off and that would remove him from succession. This is probably the better option though. I can make him become a monk. This does mean legally he can't use his brick, but like, come on, I mean, he probably won't listen to that rule. It's not like he became a monk by choice. Point is, succession is all good now. To be able to hold our entire nation directly, I've reset my perks to go for divided attention yet again. I can't get it yet, but once I do, I'll have at least 11 slots, which is the size of our kingdom. We're really getting raided day 1 into my rules, seriously? If you're ever just 1 or 2 domain slots off, you can set your wife to manage domain to get that up. Unless your wife sucks in the worst way. The Coronations DLC gets a lot of hate, and I agree with pretty much all of it, but at least we get some cool armor and weapons sometimes. I will swear an oath to shape the realm, giving us development for constructing buildings. And it gives another special bonus I'll need later. After getting the architect perk, I always switch to a learning lifestyle. Okay, so that special oath bonus I mentioned called Shape the Realm makes building new holdings way cheaper, and more importantly, creates them with free buildings. The plan is to build a ton of cities with this perk active. My culture isn't set up yet, but I might as well start getting the cities. Manorialism! Next up is battlements, which unlocks level 2 castles. There's a lot of duchy buildings, but the one I'll be getting is royal reserves for the development growth. This city just finished building, and you can see here that it spawned with a couple buildings. Not very good buildings, but it's better than nothing. I've been saving up prestige for a while so that I could get city keepers. It unlocks the ability to construct windmills within cities, the first step of my master plan. The next step is to create a hybrid culture for the other traditions we need. Swabian is just that culture. It has parochialism, which buffs cities directly, not technically required for the plan, but just fantastic anyways. The required tradition is industrious, which unlocks windmills in era early, so right now. We will combine that with city keepers to get windmills in castles and cities way before the usual time. I need to win a war for the Swabian land, so I'm upgrading my military. The biggest difference since the last time is that we actually have siege units. I got pretty lucky and my bishop managed to fabricate a claim on the entire duchy of Swabia, so here we come. Good luck to you, Bavaria. I gotta travel real far to get over here though. I think they got some new allies because they did not have this many troops when I declared war on them. I can hire a holy order that the Byzantines probably created to get ourselves nearly 4,000 men to send over to the war. I'll also buy some mercenaries. The extra troops in theory should be enough to win a battle. Yep, they were. I keep taking castles and they keep taking them back. We keep going back and forth. I'm winning all the battles, but they keep coming back to take another castle. The war's gone on for so long that I died. I swear I've seen some of these like 3 or 4 times each. Okay, we've done it. We finally won the war, taking this piece of land in Central Europe. When my last guy died, the land was split up between myself and my 2 brothers, so I no longer control all the land directly. I'm also disfigured, which basically means people see me as ugly, but it has no major ramifications. Now that I have this extra land, I will do my best to reach 40 cultural acceptance to form the ultimate culture. So obviously our brothers have the land I want to hold directly, and I could take it, but it would come with a penalty. And what's worse is that it'd only be for 1 title, not all the titles. To take all the titles, I'll need them to rebel in some way. This brother has a 0% chance of accepting, which would start a rebellion. I guess there's not really a point to get the titles right now until we actually get divided attention anyways. I'm thinking I can use our brothers to convert our culture of our counties quicker. We still have a couple counties to convert. Also, we've just unlocked battlements. I can tell our brothers to promote culture in their realm and they'll convert it for us. Converting right now though feels a little weird since the plan is to create a new culture. Speaking of a hybrid culture, I'm trying to hold a cultural festival tour, but I gotta wait for this guy to return home before visiting him. Okay, he's made it back and we can now hold that festival. There's just a little bit of danger. What's the worst that could happen anyway? Festivals might be a bit overtuned, as 10% acceptance instantly is kinda crazy. The danger might have been an issue if not for our incredible armor and weapon from coronation gifts. Instead, I have high prowess and can beat everyone up. This single tour brought our acceptance way up past 40%, and that means it's hybrid culture time. Oh, almost. Gotta wait for the tour to end first. Funny timing. We're about to be so good. We just got enough renown for treasure knowledge, the dynasty legacy that gives 20% dev growth. We're about to combine that with some insane cultural traditions. The reason I waited for the tour to end was so that I could grant independence to these guys, which I can't do apparently. The reason I want to grant them independence is so that they don't spread our culture. I don't want them to lower the average development and research speed. I can't grant independence because they're de jure vassals, so I have to destroy this duchy title first. It was as simple as that, and now I can grant independence to all but one Swabian vassal. We will now create the culture of our dreams. I'm keeping bureaucratic, of course. I'm adding industrious for early wind and water mills, and it gives flat dev growth when building. Then city keepers to build those windmills in cities. Lastly, I'm adding parochialism to buff the income and development from the cities. Mountain homes is normally a good tradition, but we have literally 0 mountains, so that's not for us. I'm keeping the Greek tradition that lets us castrate kids for succession reasons. And I'm adding by the sword, which gives a ruler unlimited holy wars. This tradition will help us conquer later. I love a good holy war. The Moscovian culture is born. We have some converting to do, and so do our brothers. Merging cultures got us Bayless, which adds another building slot. So, we have all the economic innovations of the early medieval completed. Now for what you've been waiting for. Oh, it's beautiful. This is a city tile, and we can build windmills. Level 1 windmills give 6% development growth, while maxed out windmills give 34% development growth, on top of 0.18 per month. I'll be getting these in each city and the castle, which means that they'll stack 4 times. We currently have 19 development, and it's growing slow and steady, but in theory, this will skyrocket. Well, it's time to get building. Windmills give more development and gold, but watermills make buildings cheaper. I'll go with windmills first just because I like them more. I'll have to wait for the high medieval before I have enough building slots for both. Oh, and I'll be getting them everywhere I can once I get the money for them. We're making 20 gold right now, but once these buildings are finished, I'm sure that'll have at least doubled. Okay, these peasants are stupid. Do they not realize that I'm turning their nation into a utopia? I have a bunch of open slots to build new cities in, but I'll wait to do so until I get Shape the Realm from the oath on this character, which I'm just about to get. I wonder if there's a strategy where you kill yourself over and over again to keep doing the OP oaths. In each county we need at least 1 temple, but everywhere else I'm building cities. Oh my gosh guys, my wife loves me. All I had to do was pay someone to almost kill her before saving her. Meanwhile, my brother keeps having a bunch of genius little bastards. I have the domain slots to take my brother's land, but I'm just waiting for them to convert all the land first. I'm not sure I mentioned this earlier, but because we have level 2 castles now, I can upgrade our economic buildings to level 4, including the windmills, so that's pretty neat. I'm just looking at our domain page, upgrading buildings whenever possible, adding cities in all the open slots. I just gotta say, we've sure created a lot of jobs. I'm getting older and I have no sons, so I'm focusing on educating my daughter. And of course, that's causing a lot of stress to my old man character, as at this time they haven't discovered women or people yet. Something a lot of people don't use, but has always been there, is the wet nurse court position. You can set them to instill virtue to give your children virtuous traits based on your religion. Virtuous traits are usually pretty good, so I think it's a nice thing to have. To be fair though, I care more about money than helping people, but virtuous traits do make the people love you. Okay, this looks like a good deal. An unnamed man, wait no, they're named Comma, is offering drugs to help my fertility. I can't believe we're getting scam mail for Viagra in the year 1047. Luckily for us, we don't really need fertility as our oldest daughter is great. We're entering the high medieval era at 9 years, which will unlock more innovations to get. We don't really need more innovations yet, as I still have many buildings to upgrade. But by the time we actually get an innovation, maybe I'll need it. Ooh, big yikes. I got cancer. My daughter has come of age just in time. She's ready to lead this country to greatness. Never mind, I have cancer and am dying, yet apparently I still had time to get on it and have a son. Well, we won't be needing the daughter anymore. I'll designate a good region to take care of the child and nation after we die. The timing on that was actually crazy. And now we're playing as a 1-year-old little baby. Most of the nation has been converted to the correct culture. We're almost there. And now that we're in the high medieval era, I'll start getting windmills. It doesn't make much sense if you think about it, but it'll give us another building slot. The first brother successfully converted every piece of land to Moscovian. My uncle's reward will be the removal of all his titles. Just gotta upgrade my military before the Civil War first. I actually want him to rebel, so the 0% acceptance is good. Can you imagine thriving in peace for 40 years and your brother's 8-year-old kid comes and takes all your land? Because he rebelled, I was able to take all his land with no penalty. My cousin controls some land that I can't take yet, unfortunately. My other uncle joined the rebellion, so I could take his land too. This is the only county that wasn't converted, so I'll give it to a vassal and tell him to convert it for us. I'll now hold a coronation to proclaim my legitimacy after destroying my family. For the next 100 years, I'll be doing nothing but upgrades. Lots and lots of upgrades. I have all these new counties from my uncles that need new buildings and new cities. While my focus is on Moscow, improving the surrounding land will do nothing but benefit us. I've built so many cities that I've been given the architect trait early.
Nice.
I'm not even kidding, but it only took like 9 years to go from 50 gold per month all the way up to 100 gold per month. And we're not stopping there. After taking the crown as a baby, my now 29-year-old ruler has brought the realm to new heights, becoming the current wealthiest nation in the world. Being rich is great and all, but that's not my life's goal. The true purpose is to fully max out development to become the enlightened beacon of the world. I need to make sure our cities have windmills, so I'm building them manually. It's not like we're gonna run out of money or anything. Okay, so I ended up going with the guilds innovation instead of windmills, but now I'm getting windmills. Guilds has a building slot as well, so I'm constructing a bunch of watermills in our counties where I can. In some counties, I'm running out of economic buildings, so I'm getting stuff like blacksmiths or even stables. At least blacksmiths add some percent holding taxes. I'm getting close to maxing out the buildings in these counties, for our innovations of course. This time I had a son before dying, so we shouldn't have to play as a little child again. I have to do a civil war for it, but I'm gonna finally hold the entire county directly once again. Every county is Moscovian, so it's the perfect time to do it. Now we have some more buildings to upgrade. Most of the counties have converted to Orthodox as well. Actually, a lot of the region has converted. Okay, most of our land is maxed out until the next innovation, bringing us 150 gold per month. Having everything maxed out is making me think of a bigger nation. It's making me think of the dream of Russia. Of course, I need to upgrade my military for that kind of dream to become a reality. The development of Moscow is up to 44 and is growing quicker than before. As I upgrade the windmills in the cities, this number will rise. We have the extra money to do so, so I'll start upgrading the cities in addition to the castles. I just unlocked the windmills innovation, and now obviously I already have windmills, but this gives us yet another building slot. It also lets us upgrade duchy buildings, and lets us upgrade our windmills. I'm going for the innovation that gives us level 3 castles, and it'll only take 12 years to research. Oh, I love high development. In some of these counties, I don't even know what to build anymore, just military buildings I guess. We're up to 200 gold per month as I've filled that new building slot with fully upgraded stuff. And we're halfway to 100 development now as our capital just hit 50, although I think the second half will go even quicker. I've been thinking about our expansion, and it may be challenging as all the rulers around us are either Orthodox like us or Catholic. The plan was to do holy wars, but that would not work in this situation. Hoardings are discovered, so let's get ready for Lego sound effects. Once these finish upgrading, I'll be able to upgrade all our economic buildings further, which we can already do. I mean, our building speed is incredibly fast. What's crazy is that with Industrious, I can upgrade our windmills all the way to level 8 already. I told you this combo was insane. All of our other buildings are capped out at 5 with our current tech. I like how when you max out a building, it doesn't even show the number anymore. It's just like, yeah, I'm done. Like a bajillion upgrades later, I'm starting to get maxed out again. Although this time I'm making $269. Sorry, $275 now. It's tough because it's going up so fast. Look at that, 71 development and growing by almost 0.10 per month. We're really stacking on these modifiers. Look at that beautiful gold amidst the red and purple. We're more developed than the Pope in Rome. We're more developed than the Byzantines, but that makes sense, they've been destroyed a couple times this game. The Middle East has nothing on us. India has nothing on us. Indonesia is going good, but still a bit behind. And China has, oh wow, 70 development in China, which is pretty high, but ever so slightly behind us. We're the most developed in the world. To reach 100 development as quick as possible, I'll be going in here and using all our money to upgrade the development buildings in the cities. Oh, of course, the game doesn't want us to achieve our goal and is sending in a flood. I'm gonna spend all the money I can to fix things, but this will have put us back a bit. Rivers, man, am I right? To solve my sadness, I'll buy a boatload of crossbowmen, as they got some great stats for a low price. I'll actually buy a bunch of all the troops we own to fill out our regiments with the new max. I'll buy a claim on the duchy above us for some piety. I'm starting here. My goal will be to form the Empire of Russia as we wait to reach 100 development. I mean, we're already the richest and most developed in the world, even after the flood. I don't want to deal with any of the land, so I'll be giving it away to local nobles. You know what? Taking land slowly like this sucks. I want to do holy wars. To do so, I need to create my own faith, which takes a lot of piety. I have a lot of piety though. Let's create the Russian Orthodox Church. I'll add stuff like pursuit of power. Just for fun, I'll make witches accepted. Now, this is not realistic in the slightest, but neither is Moscow being more developed than Rome in the 12th century. I'll make our faith unrelenting to let clergy service knights, because that's kind of awesome. Now I'll give it a nice light purple and bam! We have ourselves a new faith. Best part about having this new faith? Kingdom Holy Wars. I can do these over and over again too, thanks to our by the sword cultural tradition. Whoa, okay, our enemy has way more troops than I expected. I might need to make some upgrades to our military. Yeah, we're getting cooked. We got cooked so hard we died. Well, here's the downside of creating a new religion. There's no one to marry. You might think we're doomed, but nope, we're rich. I can just buy my way to victory. Money was all it took to win a battle, and then win the war. As this character, it's my goal to simply conquer all the land that falls under the Russia Empire title. So, I'm going to war with all these little babies at once. I've realized our troops we had before just aren't cutting it in the new age, so I'm replacing them with more crossbowmen that'll do more than double the damage. Now this is a nice war for a lot of land. It was also an easy war. We're pretty close to being able to form the title, probably just one big war off. They will talk of this war with Lithuania for generations. Well, maybe not. I think I've just won it in one battle. We can do it. We can form Russia. It was just too easy, but here we are, officially Russia. I'm just gonna say, giving out titles is the worst. If you've taken over a lot of land at once, I'm sure you know the pain. Okay, now that we've taken over Russia, let's resume our main goal. 100 development. We'll hit it over time, of course. I mean, we're already at 81, but let's speed this up. I'm gonna upgrade the city windmills, then trade ports, then guilds to get them to the max level. I gotta go fast or China might beat me to it. Can you tell where I'm playing just based on the development map? So as an emperor, I need to have an appointment. I need to get approval from the head of faith, but we have no head of faith. The penalty is that my legitimacy will go down every single month until everyone hates me. I don't want everyone to hate me, so we gotta do something about this. To get a head of faith, we need a holy site for our religion, which means we need one of the Orthodox holy sites. You know, I could just take Constantinople. I'll upgrade our siege units to trebuchets first. Oh no, I've survived this game without a plague, but there's one here now, and it started in Moscow. What do? I don't know. Let's just declare war. I'm sending my troops through the Black Sea straight to Constantinople. Once I take the holy site, I can immediately create a head of fate for our religion. We obliterated them. My courtiers keep dying, probably from that super deadly plague back home. At least we've taken the city. Man, everyone is dying. Let's create the head of faith, then request for him to hold an anointment for us. Oh, damn. Our entire domain is infected. Yeah, that's rough. I'll have to wait for this to pass before leaving my house, and oh my god, that looks horrible. I have hospices in every county, I have monasteries as well, but that doesn't matter and didn't stop the spread of the plague at all. I just had twin sons, which isn't great for our succession. It's fine, I'll just cut their balls off. It's really as simple as that. Think circumcision, but just a little bit further. We survived the plague, but at what cost? To see our beautiful city ruined? It's down to 70 development, so we have a ways to get back to where it was before. I'll continue to upgrade the city buildings until I reach the height I desire. Every time we get close, nature gets in the way. If this was real, my guy would definitely believe he made a mistake when converting religions, but he knows in his heart this is just another test. While we wait for development and the buildings to upgrade, I'll take the few remaining counties within the Empire of Russia. There's just a few more places to take in the north that I'll do all at once. I was mistaken, there's also this duchy in Lithuania. I really wish these guys were as developed as me, just so I wouldn't have to worry about supplies. Imagine if I used all 25,000 of my men and not just the men-at-arms. Okay, there we go. All of Russia in my hands. Once we reach that 100 development, I'll begin the conquest against the nomads to the east. After those wars, we're up to 77 development. I am of course simply going to keep upgrading these buildings until we hit 100 development. Oh my god, this pop-up scared me, but luckily it's just some other river in our realm that I don't care about. It sucks to be them, but it's not my problem. It's 11:54 and I've successfully gotten every single possible tech for the era we're in. The last update though made it so you can start techs early. Even though the next era unlocks at 1200, I can start researching cranes and it'll take 41 years, which means I can get it before you usually start researching it to begin with. We're up to 87 development and gaining about 0.1 per month. Our dev gain looks like this. It's almost off the screen. The upgrades now cost an insane 3,000 gold each. This really is a rich man's profession. Even the trade port upgrades cost more than 1,000 gold. Our ruler was pretty unlucky, having these disasters prevent him from seeing the capital with 100 development. But as his son, I'll reach it for sure. We have more than 90 development and is increasing by 15 points per month. This would have been nice to do earlier, but I'm swearing an oath to foster enlightenment. I already meet the requirements for the oath, so I can complete it. As a reward, we get this university building that gives another 10% and 0.1 development growth. What's crazy is that it instantly finishes building like a university can build anything in less than 20 years. Maybe European universities are just built different. The cities are maxed out. Well, at least their development buildings are maxed out. We're getting real close. Hey, we've done it. 100 development in Moscow. Highest development in the world, of course. Wait, no way. China reached 99 development. Damn, were they close, but we just barely beat them. Now that we have 100 development, it's our job to defeat the nomads and claim the steppe. You'd think it'd be easy since I have everything, but nope, Paradox made the nomads super overpowered. The first issue is that a bunch of these guys are in a confederation. You can only declare war on one member at a time, yet you have to fight the entire confederation to win. Our army consists mostly of crossbowmen, heavy infantry, and trebuchets for sieging. Our buildings bring the crossbowmen up to 86 damage. Normally if you want to take large, random kingdoms of land, you want to get someone with a claim in your court. But this is the steppe, and there's never going to be a good claimants. Instead, we have to do weird wars where we declare war for a whole kingdom but only get a few counties since the borders are so weird. I'm just going to start declaring wars and see where it gets us. I'll be back when something interesting happens. I've made advances into Permia. I just need to wait for some truces to end to continue in the north. I really thought the Khazars would have a claimant, but even they don't. They usually do. This game is so weird because there's like a Khazar confederation and the Khazars who are both separate entities. And the kingdom title here is called Red Levidia and is bright pink. Is that normal? Okay, we're going for the actual Khazars now. I've laid siege to almost the entire nation, but each county is only worth just a tiny amount of war score. Now they're running circles around me, unsieging as I siege. And I can't catch the bulk of their army since they're all horse riders and insanely fast. Okay, luckily I managed to finally pull out a win regardless. Here's why I consider nomads to be the absolute worst. I hate to say it, but it's a horrible game mechanic. Nomads are able to rebel and you can't form alliances to prevent it. And it doesn't matter how strong they are compared to you, they rebel anyways. It could be like 10 pig farmers rebelling with pitchforks, yet I have to send my entire army down there to deal with them. What you just watched was a battle against the Confederation's army. We're starting to look pretty big. Permia is up next. It was bound to happen eventually. All the nomads are rebelling, and I can't do anything about it. But we also have all our de jure Russia vassals about to rebel too. At least these rebels make sense. If I survive this civil war, Russia was meant to be. My general civil war strategy is to try and kill the biggest army first, before the rebels are able to group up. What's not cool is that all my good generals are a part of the rebels, so I have no one to lead my army. While I deal with the main rebels, my levies are dealing with the nomadic rebels. Right when I defeat one group of nomads, there's immediately more to deal with. Huh, Russia was meant to be. We won the civil war. Guys, I can't do it. I can't take the whole step. Confederations are going to make me lose my mind. I have to fight an entire kingdom for a single county, one after the other. The wars take forever too, because the enemy just runs away the whole time, and I have to siege down the entire place to win anything. This is a war for one duchy, by the way, and look at how many men-at-arms they have. I refuse to lose this battle, so I'm buying every single mercenary possible. And it doesn't matter. I can't even get one duchy without the claimant dying. Oh my god, I hate this step. 1,000 new subscribers and I'll play Tall in Siberia. Well, that certainly was a video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And maybe, just maybe, I'll actually take over the entire steppe to form the Grand Russia that you guys all want. I think it will take 100 years off my lifespan though.